You're tuning into Box Story. My name is Rack Noble. Today we're here with British light heavyweight champion Craig Spider Richards, and he's got some massive news to tell us, which we will know about. Craig, enlighten us on the news.
I'll be fighting for the WBA Super World Champion May the 1st against Dimitri Bivol on a box office pay-per-view show.
Yeah, like it was announced on Friday. Eddie Hearn said that he'll have a show on the 1st of March. Parker Joseph pay-per-view, and you'll be fighting Bivol on the undercard. And it comes as a surprise to a lot of us because we was expecting a European title shot. So when we heard that there's negotiations with Bivol's camp, that took a lot of people by storm. Tell us how this fight came about.
Oh, well, we're looking at, when we won the British. To be fair, like before we fought for the British, obviously I've been world ranked for 2 years now. We was looking to push on really a while back before then, even after the Sterling camp, because we got sick of waiting around for the British level, and I've had a lot of domestic duff-ups anyway. Then we was talking to Eddie, and we was going to push on to that European level next. But then obviously the Pitters fight came about, and I thought, you know what? The names at the European level maybe might not be as good as the strong names in the domestic scene in the British. So if I'd won that European, then I'd have moved on to the world. So it was either to get the experience before pushing on, which I knew that Shakan was an awkward 6'7", unbeaten, hungry guy from Britain at British champion. So we took that fight, got the job done quite comfortably. And we realised at that point, my manager said to me, we knew he was going to win. But he said, it's how you win defines where you're meant to go. So if you've had a close stakeout, you come out one closed eye, won it on a split, you're kind of roughly now about European level. If you go out there and blast him out now and win the fight convincingly, you're obviously ready to move on to bigger things. And obviously I felt in control the whole time. The fight didn't really have to go through the gears, and got the knockout, and dropping him early and then knocking him out showed that the level I was at. So we said, right, we know me, if I feel like I'm boxing a level below that I believe I'm at, I don't really get up for the fight. I just don't really put my all into the fight how I probably should be. So the bigger the name for me and the bigger the challenge, the better performance you get out of me. And after the fight, obviously we spoke to Eddie, who said, listen, we need the big names, we need big fights now, like what's on the roster, who's at world level, what can we get? And obviously there was talks of a couple people. Bivol came up and was like, right, that interests us, can you make that happen? He said, look, I'm actually going to talk to Bivol, and we'll see if his team's interested, and we'll let you know. And he come back, said, yeah, they're interested, and we went from there.
Yeah, indeed, the fight in December against Shakan Pitters, 9th round KO, was an impressive victory. I believe you did have it in you to win, but no one expected it to be in such emphatic style. Of course, going from Shakan Pitters to Dimitri Bivol is a massive step up. So in this training camp, these preparations coming up for this challenge, how do you look to step up your training and preparations to grasp this massive opportunity?
Well, it's not as you know as a fighter. Sometimes it's not about stepping up the training sense of, right, now I'm fighting for a world title, I need to step up my training to world level. Of course, you're gonna have to increase certain aspects, but the way we train at the Matchroom Elite Gym anyway is like world champions. So we have heavy camps every fight anyway. So there's not much more you can really put your body through in terms of fitness wise. If you notice, like, I've boxed the 12-round British title fight. Did you see me breathe even at one point of the whole fight? It was not even having to go for the gears. There was never a point where I thought, right, we're getting to the later rounds now, dig deep. I was so comfortable that I was just warming into the fight as we're getting on to the later rounds. So in terms of fitness aspects, I think that's covered. I'm pretty strong, I'm pretty fit anyway. Just tactically, like every fight anyway, I changed. Like if I was to fight Jake Paul, I didn't prepare for the same as when I boxed Shakan Pitters, so on and so on. So obviously it'll be a whole different camp, a different proposition in front of me, and at a higher level. So of course there's things that we're gonna have to do differently, but in terms of my regime of training, we'll be keeping a similar regime, just intensity might be turned up a bit more.
So the last 6 months you've been on since your victory for the British title, you've been in a complete high. Now you've got the world title fight, an even bigger high. Prior to that, you've been on the up and down of emotions in boxing. Before that, 2019 December, you had a draw with Shad Sujan, which was a surprising draw. Of course, the pandemic hit. Boxing was put on ice for a lot of people. The fight with Shakan Pitters was put on ice as well. You got COVID. Lots of things happened to set you back. So there was a lot of downs, but now you seem to be riding on a massive wave up.
Yeah.
How does it feel to go from one extreme to the other?
It feels brilliant, you know. Boxing's like that. So there's times that in my career, like even if you look through my records, times I've had gaps. I've not been able to have fights. I've been in the gym training, not getting the fights I wanted. I remember there was a period of time where I even like wanted to fight. Finally got on the Next Gen show. I was even happy for that. I remember my family and friends all went away for my sister's 30th. I never went because obviously I had a fight coming up, although it was just a 6-rounder. Got there for the weigh-in, fight got cancelled. I never got to fight at all. I was like, this career is just going from bad to worse right now. Then Eddie rings us up on the Tuesday, said, look, I know you've been wanting to get out. I can get you out on a 4-round if you're 4-round fit. Belfast, obviously, course, like, yeah, we'll take that. Went out there for a few days' notice, took that fight, knocked the guy out in the 3rd. Sunday, he said, look, Callum Johnson's pulled out of the Buglioni fight. Do you want to jump in next week? 5 days notice. I said, you know what, let's go. And you know, I went up there, tried what I could do in there. Obviously no training camp all there, come up short. And I was like, you know what, this career is it was just like such a good and badish at the time. Like you're just trying to make it happen. And then I settled down, come up into the light heavyweight division. Then I boxed 3 guys with winning records, blasted them all out within 3 rounds. Then I got called out by Jake Paul, had the title fight, boom, live co-main event, O2 Arena, debut in DAZN, Sky Sports, so I finally international fights, like TV and that, blasted him out in 3 rounds as well, got my world ranking, was on a high, like everyone was like, this guy could push on to big things, whatnot. Then I went and boxed Sterling, yet again, didn't get up for the fight, obviously won the fight, unanimous decision. Wasn't my best performance. I just went in there, got the job done. People were like, oh yeah, good win, but you know. So I thought, okay, cool. Then I was getting up for the British again. That got cancelled. Didn't know it was on, off. Then I went and obviously boxed Shugdom, flat performance. People was like, So it was like, then you're now coming back on the low. So then if you look at before the Shugdom fight, I was probably tipping to be the favourite against Shakan. After the Shugdom fight, I was like 9-1 to just get a knockout and 3-1 just to win the fight. So then you was back on a downer in the public's opinion. I went out there, showed what I was about, went and blasted him out, you know, and then I've been on a high. Yeah, this guy's British champion, he's tipping for big things. And then it's like, oh, he's going for the world though. Is he jumping a step too early? So you get what I'm saying? It's like, in boxing, you're going to have opinions of people and your career is going to be like this and that. So it's been that sort of road for me, but the whole time is just having that mindset and belief to focus on what you believe and carry on striving towards your goals. So it's like, it's a few times in the bookies I've had like my first Southern Area title fight. I was fighting someone 12-6 KOs after 7 fights, ripped me off in the bookies, went and caused the upset. Jake Paul, former GB boy, ripped me off in the bookies, went and caused the upset. Shakan, 6'6", 6'7", British champion, ripped me off again, caused the upset. So I'm like, I've been used to this position. Now I've got the WBA world title shot. People are like, definitely a step too far this time. Go up there, rip the script up, and the new. So yeah, it's a situation where boxing isn't, you know, people just see you on the night sometimes shining and they think it's all glitz and glamour. It's not. Behind the scenes for me, it's been a very rocky road. Bads and goods, rough and smooth, but you know, it's just good I'm in the position I'm in now because it's been a journey.
You've definitely proven people are wrong on many, many occasions, and I don't think this is the end of it. I think on the 4th could be the biggest one to this point. And as we know, Bivol he's not a small task at all, no one to overlook. No. But let's look at the advantages game. Let's look at what you've got on your side. The fight's going to be in the UK, your home country, possibly London, your hometown. It's going to be on your home promoter Eddie Hearn's show. Bivol last fought November 2019. He's been, well, it's been a year and a half by the time he fights on May the 1st. You've been more recently fought in December. Another advantage to throw in there, as an amateur, Bivol beat Jake Paul in 2013 by points. You beat Jake Paul by knockout in 3 rounds. So
dropped him every round.
Let's take every advantage forward moving forwards. How do you think all this stuff will play into fight night on the night?
Do you know what? Like on hindsight and paper, like all of these advantages should play into my favour massively in terms of his inactivity and stuff like that. But I know personally myself, before I boxed Shakan, I was out for a year and everyone said this is going to play into his hands. He had a flat performance and he's been out a year. So this is in Shakan's favour. But I know as a fighter, when this stuff happens, you got a point to prove. So I believe that he's going to prepare very hard. He's going to prepare diligently, and I believe that he's going to make sure that I'm going to get the best version of him. So in hindsight, it should play a massive in my favour, but I'm expecting the best version of Dimitri Bivol that I can get, and I'm going to take that. I'm going to keep that in mind through my training, and on fight night, that is the best version of him coming out, and I'll be ready for him.
That definitely seems the way to go. Bivol's not going to take this lightly. It's his first chance on the big stage. He's going to show that he's still the animal, he's still the beast.
Yeah.
Now, of course, only last night we saw Lawrence Okolie in his 16th professional fight pick up the WBA Cruiserweight World title. Craig Richards in his 19th professional fight is looking to pick up the WBA Light Heavyweight Championship. London boys are doing the thing.
Come on.
London boys are definitely showing out here. We're taking over the world, aren't we?
Come on, you know what it is, people don't understand, like, we're hungry. In London, we're hungry. We're coming from the ground up, and we're looking to like put our names on the map, and Lawrence set the benchmark last night, and I'm looking to follow suit and, bring another world title back to London and show what we're really made of and what we're built of.
Better believe that. I don't doubt that for a minute. Like I said, this ain't the first time Craig's been overlooked, seen as the underdog or taken a step too far. Every time the bookies completely smash it out of the park. So May the 1st, tune in. Craig Richards fighting for the WBA title. Craig, any words you'd like to say to anyone before head off?
Yeah, I just want to thank everyone who's been behind me, supporting me, and the UK getting behind me, the ones who are, and people believe in me. Thank you for all the sponsors to support, and you guys for doing a great job and pushing and promoting this. We're ready to go, man. May the 1st, I won't disappoint.
May the 1st, we're ready to go. I say this is Box Story, and I'm Rack Noble, and we're out with future world WBA champion Craig Spider Richards.
Come on.
And we're out.
Let's get it.